Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league and halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gardner and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got a vote. I've got a vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
Here we go, 46, 46. There we go.
Now a play fake here on first down.
Did your phone die or something?
Got his man on the comebacker. That's Cole. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
There we go. 48. 26.
Prescott on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Here we go. 48. Kill.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 3 touchdowns on the ground, and then, Charles, he threw one in through the air for good measure.
Yeah, you know you have to account for him in all situations. I mean, we know he can run the heck out of the football. You just noted what he did. But how about him being able to get out of the backfield, catch it, and get into the end zone as well?
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. A second down throw for Prescott. Slant route caught by Edelman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. And now, partner, he has surpassed Marvin Harrison's record for most catches in a single season. He's got 144.
It's amazing. He almost did it quietly because Marvin Harrison wasn't a guy that we saw much in the media, but boy, did he produce. Now, he steps aside. Marvin Harrison is number 2. We were here today to see the new number 1.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's third and goal.
Here we go. 4-8. Here we go. Count.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know they're securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Wilson. And that is incomplete here. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Austin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
They'll run with Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The former Longhorn back home, Earl Thomas. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. They go play action now. Wilson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Our first update now comes from Atlanta, and it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. Cam Newton, an early touchdown pass in that one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Elliott. He finds an opening past the 40. That good for 22 and a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Prescott down. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here and live.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Let's take a glance now at the starting defense for Seattle. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Double tight. Let's go. Let's finish now. There we go.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Willie Henry in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
There we go. Wide, ain't it?
3rd and long for Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They go play action here on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taco Charlton in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. A handoff to Penny. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now Austin. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Cowboys. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
You go 47. You go 46. 26.
Now Prescott. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Only a yard on the third down throw, and that leads to a fourth down.
Well, that's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. This is caught. It's Julian Edelman. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That's a fourth down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango.
Here we go. Wide eight. Here we go. Get out. Get out. Keep winning. Quick.
On second down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. On the crossing route, that's called Julian Edelman. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Prescott to throw it. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Buying time to his left. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Here's Wilson. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets them back for second down.
Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Out. 3-15.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Hey, 47. Hey, we're going
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Well, they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 3rd down, that's Elliott. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Again to Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone, hopefully on his next carry.
Throwing, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite-level production.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Penny. And an alley run. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, Wilson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Baldwin, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flush to his right, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Zeke with a shake and bake. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to slip.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Point after, right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. On one hand, as we look... So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Back to it after the pick six. Prescott. Wide open, Julian Edelman. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go. 180. 26.
Here's Prescott. Slant route caught by Edelman. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Edelman, the intended receiver that time. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then against with the Eagles, and I believe he's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now it's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Gun. Here we go. 180.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
Second down, Prescott. And he lets go a laser, pulled in by Edelman. And they're able to get this one past the 30, down to the 25. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. A 1st down throw for Prescott. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. play of the half. Prescott. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Jarvis Landry, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Blake Bortles has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Now Wilson on first down. And his pass incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now it's Wilson, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Wilson now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Elliott. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got them another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he's Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 68 yards. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped. and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's a pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows his offensive line can give him great effort.
And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go. Come
on, capitalize on this one.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now Rashad Penny. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. The give is to Elliott. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. With that, he's up to 160 yards receiving now for the ball game. And that catch puts him past the great Jerry Rice. For the most receiving yards in a single season, he's now up over 1,848.
At one point, we called Jerry Rice Flash. How about the dash we saw here today? The dash towards his record and past it.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And now here's another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side, able to get a hand in.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
They have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. 2nd and 10, it's Wilson again. And he comes back with one complete. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where we have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
19.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And that is incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Orleans, this is by Beamer Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. First down carry by Elliott. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Prescott to throw it. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They need that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Good gain there on first down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Ebron caught left side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Third and short yardage. Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to the ground with Elliott. Dropped at the 35. Able to display his agility, but not much room to operate. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Elliott. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet and then taken down right at the 30. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On third down, it's Elliott. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason. And
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. K.J. Wright in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Third and long for Prescott. And Edelman got a big game going. That's complete again. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Throwing, Prescott. And it's intercepted at the goal line. The former Longhorn back home, Earl Thomas. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Out of of the gun. Here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And that'll make it second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully get a chance to win.
It's caught. Lockett. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Over the middle, complete. It's Barber. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Now Wilson. He's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Again, Wilson keeps himself upright. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, 27 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Now a timeout coming in here defensively, as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Here's Prescott sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
4 down, check. 26.
Well, Prescott here to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. On 3rd down, that's Elliott. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Here we go, 47, 47. Here we go.
Now Elliott. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati. The Chiefs continue to add on. They're really rolling. Tyrod Taylor, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better. and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
All right, we'll see if they go back to base. Here's Wilson to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Wilson on first down. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Cowboys, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never